This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Mzansi. We're back. Yeah, it is a time of the night where we have to talk about a lot of gibberish and gibberish that happened in that court. It's a lot of it. I've never had something like that before. I think this is the first time. I would say most interesting part was at the beginning, and then from there, I get set over. We're just, if you ask me, wasting time. We will do anything to waste time. If you ask me. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just a time waster that we have to go through. Unfortunately, we have to go through that time waster. Very interesting days that we live at, where the defense is questioned about their money that they work hard for, considering the circumstances of that court. In fact, it's more like we're chasing your own tail through how evidence is led and how it's presented in that court. Very interesting days that we have a situation that is like this right now that we are facing, where we listen to the voice of, I almost said the voiceless, but the voice that cannot get tired. I'm keeping on my battery. Keeping on my battery.
He was actually leading himself.
I'm keeping on my battery. He's on autopilot right now. Icon. No, it is too much. It is too much. What we have to go through, and you have to look at that defense, and you have the judge shouting to Mshololo for not being present to listen to Inganekwane, because Nayo, it was only nice when it was short. You know, Inganekwane is only nice when it's short.
Yeah.
Once it is longer, you need to sleep to finish the story. So this is a story, and I don't know how to explain it. Very interesting days that we live at. The inspection in loco, icon.
It will never happen.
It will never happen.
It won't happen. I also lost my little bit of hope I had.
I saw Mnisi fighting. That is the court that we have to succumb to. The court that speaks this today, as if there's a small mini office that corrects what the court accepts. And it comes back with a new theory. In fact, BALOYI is in charge there.
Yeah.
We must say it. He's in charge. He's detecting what happens and what not that doesn't happen. He's the one who suggested the story of videos of pictures being taken. And guess what? My, it is happening. And we are told that is so that it to rigs the mind Gininde. And then if we go to inspection in local, what is it for? What is it gonna be for then? If because now getting the theory and it can never go wrong when it comes to this court. The police are always right. The people who are arrested by the police are the wrong ones. So what the police say goes. It is the truth of the day and the order of the day.
And you know what the thing about an inspection in loco is? It was done with Jocelyn's case there in Cape Town. And it took it didn't even take the whole day. It took a good one, I would estimate a good 40 minutes to an hour. And then they went back to court and the proceedings continued, right? Right now we are subjected to someone telling us about pictures that are aerial photographs, and I'm sure they look very geographic. Geography, that subject of the maps. I'm sure they look
They are
like
good
that.
with pictures. That's what I've noticed about them. They like pictures.
And now Brigadier Gininda is the one doing the demonstrations, showing what he thinks or what he says is there. No one can dispute, of course, especially considering the fact that Advocate Nisi had expressed that accused number 1 is saying that he does not see what is going on in those pictures, but no one cares.
The court does not care.
Yeah, so
what it cares about is what it's gonna rule on. Those ones who say, no, Mina, I don't understand, it does not matter. Who are you when to actually tell us what you see and what you do not see?
They would have just went there. It would have taken maybe, I would say, estimate 2 to 3 hours. Then they go back to court. What has been seen by everyone is what has been seen by everyone. No one is going to dispute that there was no police station somewhere because they've seen it, right?
It's
now we are
shameful
being
what is happening in that
subjected
court.
to Gininda.
It is shameful
And he's continuing
what is happening in that court.
tomorrow.
Very much shameful to such an extent that it is shameful, but I'm not gonna say more. Continue.
Okay, guys, today is gonna be another long one. Let's start at the beginning. Advocate BALOYI advised that the interpreter in the morning was not in court yet, as well as Mr. Ramasipili. But then they eventually arrived. The judge asked in the meantime, as they were waiting, Nxumalo, where Advocate Mshololo was, and he said that she was in the court next door. Yeah, we did see her also yesterday. She was in Mpumalanga court representing a Miri party of the MKP, but today she was in Pretoria, next door. Yes, booked and busy. Yeah.
Yes.
The judge asked, does that happen? I mean, you see, I'm being criticized in the press. You can't be on record in 2 matters at the same time in the same court. And Nxumalo said that it's a part that falls in recess. Remember, this is recess. The time that they're using now was supposed to be recess. But it looks like they came to an agreement. The judge said that he asked them if they could have sessions during the recess on Friday. And then Nisi said that he was tired. Mshololo said that she was not available, which is true. She did say she's not available for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
And Ramasipile said that his practice was losing clients and money, and he needed to be in his practice to actually see what is happening. Then suddenly all of them had a discussion amongst themselves, and they decided to continue to sit for 2 weeks in recess. He said that his mind could have said that he already made plans with his wife for a holiday, but because there are certain things which are more important, here he is. He's there in the court. And then he continued to say, then Abundaba wants to talk. Konje, he means us. He means that article that he has him in his feelings. He was addressing.
Uyabona bayebethi ngesizulu osifumbu bona uqhaqhazela.
What does it mean?
Angithi he was born of a Zulu mother. He would know since he's too focused kubondaba. Don't worry wena Amy.
Then he was addressing Nxumalo, and he said to him that one day he will be a judge. It's a pity when they started, it was a rule of the National Party. He started reminiscing about apartheid again. He said that he'd never a double book ever because it's in a rule book.
Can someone perhaps just take Rata and put him exactly there by the Gaza streets? I think it's still happening that side.
Yeah.
Since he's so fond of it and it cannot leave his tongue. It is still being practiced that side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
So if he wants to live in a state like that, go ahead, book a flight. You probably have money, you've made enough. Book a flight, go that side, and tell us what happens when you're at that site. Tell us how good it is, the system.
Yeah. He said that a judge would not give you a choice. That you'd act for accused so and so and you act for the other person, but we don't care about the rules. Numalo asked to call Ramusipeli. He was trying to break the ice because maybe trying to save him from himself. Angas. Well, then he asked to call Ramusipeli and see where he was, and the judge said that he was 6 minutes late. The judge talked about some article that was written by 12 judges. He said that he didn't want to mention the race, but
you have mentioned it.
He said it's white judges.
You have mentioned it.
He said that after what happened after the last time, but he did imply their race. So yeah. He said that those judges are retired and they were addressing, because this is actually Advocate BALOYI who made it clear what the article was actually addressing, and he said that it was addressing the failure of practitioners to observe ethics in court. So the state said that they will be proceeding with re-examination of Brigadier Gininda. His evidence stood down so that the new photo evidence could be admitted. The state brought the application and the court ruled that the evidence of the photos could be led, and subsequent to that, Warrant Officer NDlovu and Sergeant Mabasa testified on those photos, and the state requested that Brigadier Gininda be recalled so he can be examined on those photos. The judge asked if this was an application again, and BALOYI said that it strips down so that they are basically recalling him. So Mnisi said that he was not sure if the state wanted to continue with the re-examination of Brigadier Gininda. The state had already closed its re-examination on Brigadier Gininda, the evidence that was already in court, such that today he's being recalled to come and deal with the new evidence, which has been the subject of litigation for the past 2 weeks. If that is the case, then on behalf of accused number 1 and 3, they don't have a problem because such evidence has already been dealt with extensively, and they indicated initially that there would be new evidence. Ramusipeli said that he had no objection on behalf of Mr. Ntanzi, and Nxumalo also had no objection for accused 4 and 5. Brigadier Gininda was on the stand, and BALOYI, before resuming Gininda's re-examination, he said that there are 2 issues that they would have liked to deal with. The first issue was the state would have liked to call the dentist who examined accused number 3. Oh,
my.
Dentist.
Imagine what kind of sometimes I want to be just get time and be there in these people's mind when they think these things, like the thinking. You objected to this person. You refused for this to happen. Vehemently. Now, you want to have the first seat on this person when this has been done, when you were overruled.
Yeah.
Now you want to have a first seat. You have a first preference. You are the state. What kind of reasoning is that? Okay. Let us just, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Logically, since the states paid for legal aid, paid for the the ballistic expert, why not call them BALOYI? Because that's logic follows that what you've just submitted now is exactly what happened with the
right.
So call them also to be your witness. Let's finish this. Call them. Call them, bring them to court. That's how you think. You have the first preference of everyone that you pay for because the state money paid for it. Yes, it's like ukhuluma ngazukuthi he owns this money.
Yes.
Ngathi eyakhe.
Yes.
These people, they have no shame.
Like he's the only one paying tax.
No shame. to actually submit such
And funding
in court.
were accused with his money from his own pocket.
Jeez, man.
So he has to dictate as to what can be done with regards to their defense.
Jeez,
So
cabang.
if a state doctor was examining them, he must have first preference as the state to present the doctor as their witness, even though they denied this part of evidence to be presented in court.
Let's
They didn't
continue.
even consider it. So, Baloyi,
Tolan Jr. Sorry, Emily.
yes.
Thank you for joining membership. Welcome.
Thank you, Xolani.
Yes.
So Baloyi said that they had established what the position of the defense is regarding the request. However, they had been informed that the defense is going to the state, or they are going to be calling the dentist. Then the defense intimated that it is their witness and the state may not call their witness, which is true. You know, the state wants to use the dentist against Mngube, while Mngube is the one requested to be seen by the dentist. He's the one who made the request. And this request did not come from the state, you know. They wanted to present pictures that were zoomed in.
It's okay. They can wait for the day and the time. In the meantime, they might as well just prepare the doctor for the defense. I mean, it follows.
So Baloyi said that we informed the defense that accused number 4 was examined by a dentist in public health care at a public health care facility, and we informed them that it is very similar to a situation where an accused is examined by a district surgeon during the course of proceedings for whatever reason, and that district surgeon will then become a state witness. I'm like, oh my God, leave that poor dentist alone. Why? Leave him alone.
I'm sure where he is. If you didn't know what color of a jersey is wearing,
Oh my God.
what team is he kicking for,
Oh my God.
he now knows that he's kicking for the team states by virtue of being in a public clinic, and by virtue of the states assisting, he's kicking for the states. If he wants more clients, he better kick better.
This is someone who did not call all the witnesses from the house to come to court and testify. And then he wants to drag the poor dentist.
Masirame, thank you very much. God bless you. Please press the like button, guys. 424. Let us press that like button.
Well, Baloyi said that as a principle, the state has a first pick whenever there are a number of witnesses available.
Did he believe his words? Like,
Yeah, he did.
oh my God.
The state has the first opportunity to call those witnesses. If the state doesn't call those witnesses at the end of the state's case, they will be made available to the defense.
There goes 100% record. But you know what? I don't think Baloyi believed what he said, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
What follows after that is what Baloyi wanted,
Which is?
and perhaps with the judge.
Which
What
is?
follows after that is what he wanted, the video.
So he used this as a
It's a decoy.
decoy.
In your right sense, seasoned lawyer, 100% record, with the doctor.
Utheni u-advocate Fatima Nkitrix? Uyamkhumbula.
Exactly. It fits.
He said, however, we inform my colleagues that we are not going to make any issue out of that. You know, like
see?
he was doing the defense a favor.
I'm doing you a favor. You better scratch my back on the next one. Accept it.
Baloyi then said that if the defense doesn't call the dentist, then the state would request that the court should call the dentist in terms of Section 186. Well, then he said they will leave that matter at that. They're not going to pursue it any further.
But then I take my comment away at the same time on the basis that what follows after that is exactly getting both in both ways. You will see.
Well, I feel like at this point, is it safe to say that there has been a bit of damage with this report to the state's case? Is it safe to conclude that at this level? Because now he's presenting it and then he's taking it away. Presenting, Kore, it's almost like it's beyond repair, in my opinion. Because what would they get the dentist to come and say that there was a gold tooth?
Don't play the player. Play the game.
Play the game.
I think you are playing the player.
Okay. So BALOYI then said the second preliminary aspect that the state wanted to deal with is a proposition that was put by the late Mgomezulu to Kenel Mangena, the ballistic expert, on the 28th of August 2024. He said that they have on various assertions intimated that they'd like to show the footage that deals with this aspect, as well as the affidavit of the witnesses of ENCA that deals with this aspect. He said, we have conferred with our colleagues regarding this aspect, and with the view of seeing whether we can provoke the provisions of Section 213 of the Criminal Procedure Act. He said his colleagues, as subject to confirmation by them, indicated that they are not going to consent to admission of this affidavit. He said, we therefore have to call this witness. The witness is not here. We hope to secure his attendance in due course, and we are in discussions with his legal representative. He was expected to attend court on the 17th of June 2025. However, he was excused from attending court and being present, as that at the time they were still in negotiations with the defense, and since they could not reach consensus, he said that they will have to call this witness. So Gininda is no longer the last witness of the state. BALOYI has added more witnesses. BALOYI said that they would like to show the footage today, and they would like to rely on the provisions of Section 3 of the Hearsay Act. The reason he would like to show the footage at that stage, as Brigadier Gininda would like to comment on the footage. So he referred to Section 3 of the Law of Evidence Amendment Act 45 of 1988, which says that hearsay evidence shall not be admitted unless the person upon whose credibility the probative value of such evidence depends himself testify in such proceedings. Provided that a person doesn't testify, the hearsay evidence shall be left out of account. He continued to read to us this subsection, which in my opinion, as he was reading, guys, I don't want to lie, I did not pick up where it supported the fact that he wanted Gininda to testify on this hearsay evidence presented by Mgomezulu without calling Longwe. To me, I couldn't pick it up.
All right.
Maybe you did, Mr. Anonymous.
So if the video is presented in court without both the author and as Ramsipil was complaining about the sound, it cannot be admissible, but it can be admissible, but it faces additional legal scrutiny. So here are just to break down why that video apparently it was accepted. The video is admissible without the author and the sound. Yes, it can be admitted, but the court must be satisfied that one, the video is authenticated, genuinely, unaltered, it is relevant to the case. That's what BALOYI was hammering on.
Relevance.
There is clear chain of custody. And in this regard, I do not understand how a person accepts that, yes, now it is under me. How did it move from you, from the owner that you say you were not, to you? That's now a chain of custody. Because you say you were not there. So that would mean they would need also that person who took the video one way or another. And its probative value outweighs any unfair and prejudice. So that's what apparently this video is accepted for. As for relevancy, of the video. I would support that the Ramsipili was correct
Okay.
in saying that the video is not relevant. Why I'm saying that? How does one walking in that video, not for long,
For 30, 36, 34 seconds.
make that person be immune to being shot
That's like
at the
3
time?
steps.
Mavui, thank you very much for joining membership.
That's
Welcome
like 3
to that.
steps. Yeah.
So, how does the 3 steps help us arrive into a conclusion that, this guy was not shot? You know? Number 2, is Brigadier Kininde an expert in analyzing the body language of these people, videos per se? People in videos. Are you an expert of that? Are you perhaps a filmmaker? Perhaps you have done one or a series, which is currently what we are watching every day in SABC 1 up until 3:30. So, you have moved from being an investigator to being an analyst of videos and analyzing body languages of people. So, in that sense, it is not relevant for me. That video is not relevant. It does not answer the question, or it does not take away that dent that was left by Mngomezulu of Longwe was sought, more especially considering that Longwe is still alive and kicking.
Yes.
So it does not take away this assertion that was put by Mngomezulu to Longwe. What is it that makes it so hard for you, as Nisi asked, to bring that person in court? And rightfully so, Nisi concluded that he's afraid that other things might start mushrooming. It is not wrong to put such assertion. It was not wrong of Mngomezulu to put such assertion. It was not wrong. But it remains for the states to prove that. And unfortunately, they have become the directors of movies now. They are now the analyst of body languages in videos. So, in his grave, Mngomezulu is still haunting the states.
Yeah.
May his soul rest in peace.
May it rest in peace.
That's how good he was.
Yeah.
That's how good he was. He's still haunting these people. And Mngomezulu was whipping
So that
the dog
owner comes
so that the owner can come out. Unfortunately, the owner is coming in a form of video. Have you ever seen someone who was a witness of what happened in that house? In any case, a witness being this much defended without their presence?
No.
Only in this case.
It's a first with this case.
Where we are told that the so-called accused in that house are really the doers of whatever that happened in that house. Yet, the witnesses that could give us more clarity are defended through 3-second videos or 2-second videos.
34 seconds or 36 or 38. I'm not sure, but something.
I've never seen something like that.
Something about 30 seconds. So
the fear of bringing someone at some point you said is part of your witnesses. It is just surprising.
Every day, Siababa.
It is just surprising. It is unexplainable. I cannot even imagine why. What is wrong if you are a state and that wants the truth to come out? What is wrong in bringing these people? You can make them queue because you want the truth of what happened to Senzo. You are not playing a chess game. This that I see here, it does not fit with Rob versus Hepworth, in my opinion. It does not fit with Rob versus Hepworth.
Mngomezulu said that 3 shots were fired and 1 shot caused an injury to Zandi's leg. The other shot is the shot where LONGWE Twala shot himself on the leg while they were struggling for the gun. The third one is the one that shot Senzo Meyiwa. And he said that he was not mentioning the events according to the sequence of how they happened. Now, this is Advocate BALOYI reading the record of the 24th of August 2024. One bullet was stuck in the ankle of LONGWE Twala, and the other one is the one that shot Senzo dead. LONGWE, after that incident, the wound became septic and he went to a doctor. Do you realize that a wound doesn't become a septic immediately? It takes a while before a wound becomes septic.
Yes.
So the late Dr. Mbatsani, who referred LONGWE Twala to Dr. Mudise in Rand Hospital, where a bullet was taken out in LONGWE's foot, BALOYI said that the purpose of this footage was to deal with this proposition. Now, Mnisi made the submission that in the calling of the dentist who examined Mr. Mncube and the state, they are basing that report on the argument that every circumstance that the state has a first pick of witnesses. He said that's gross misrepresentation of facts, my lord.
Indeed, it is. And just while we are at it, Dave Charles, thank you for joining membership.
Thank you, Dave. So Mnisi then said that this witness, for starters, Dr. Ali, is nowhere seen in the state or the list of the state's witnesses. The state can only have a pick of witnesses when they specifically state the name of what the witness in their list of the state of witnesses in terms of Section 144 of the Criminal Procedure Act. He said that Dr. Ali is not one of those witnesses. The state argued that by virtue of the fact that Dr. Ali works for the state, he then automatically becomes their witness. It also does not work out like that, my lord, he said. If the state wanted to use Dr. Ali as their witness, the state should have made a point that Dr. Ali does what the defense requested him to do, which is to assess Mr. Mncube, and the state comes and includes him as one of their witnesses in the list of the state witnesses. Nisi argued that for the fact that this process was initiated by the defense approached Dr. Ali, who is working for the state, which simply means that Dr. Ali has been requested by the defense to come and assist the court. So who made that request? It's the defense.
I think it was obvious, even to a kid, that the defense fought tooth and nail in that court, where the state was refusing vehemently to accept that accused number 3 be taken for dental check.
So whose witness is that? It's the defense's witness. There are so many witnesses that the defense would have loved to consult, whose names are in the list of the state's witnesses. Nisi said that they are certain that some of those witnesses would have provided evidence that is favorable to the defense. It's an open secret, but for now, they won't be able to do that because those witnesses, the names are in the list of state witnesses. Nisi said we can't go near them. It's like the defense has shared their list of witnesses, and then the state is saying no. But one is working for the state. Nisi said it's not like that. Nisi said he thinks that the proposal by the state, in an event that they chose not to call Dr. Ali to come and testify in the defense's case because it's the defense's witness, then the state would make that application in terms of Section 186 to request the court in the interest of justice to have Dr. Ali called. But the state cannot call him. How will they be in a position to interview our own witness? That would be a gross irregularity. Now, Mnisi said that if the state says that is that which it wants to do, then it must allow them the very same opportunity to interview the witnesses at the very same moment that they would not be utilizing later on before they close their case.
This in question is Kelly Kumalo, and the rest, the Longways,
Yes.
and everyone else,
Yes.
the blood cleaners, the floor cleaners, and whatever that you're not gonna call. Very interesting game.
He said that I know that the state wouldn't do that because that is unprocedural. They're not yet our witnesses. They have not been disclosed to us. Mnisi intimated that the state did not even ask them if they would be calling Dr. Ali. If they are able to disclose Dr. Ali to them, the state simply says we want to call that witness because they are working for the state. Then simply because he's working for the state, then they have their first preference. It does not work like that. That would be a very gross irregularity of a procedure. On the last aspect, Section 186 covers everything. And with regard to the preposition that was put by Mr. Mgomezulu on some of the witnesses, it is indeed so that they vehemently objected to the procedure that the state wanted to adopt or employ. So I see now what you meant, that Advocate BALOYI bombarded them with all of these applications in one day, so that out of all of them, at least one, he can come out with one. And the main one that he wanted was this one of this footage to be played. So the state does not give the background of what happened there. Nisi said, remember, Mr. Mgomezulu said LONGWE was apparently one of the people that got injured in the house. Now the state wants to refute that allegation by showing a video that shows LONGWE that the following day LONGWE was seen on the street. He was not limping, which is an indication that he could not have been injured on the 26th, because on the 27th he was seen. He's been seen on the video. He's walking very straight. He's not limping. But that on its own has got its challenges. The state says that they have a clip of a video from ENCA, and the state says no, they want to rely on the exceptions to the hearsay rule. They want to lead this evidence on the provisional basis and allow the brigadier to testify on the content of the video. The state is saying it will be in the interest of justice to allow Brigadier Kininda to testify on the footage after it has been shown. The state does not even say that after the provision of this evidence on a provisional basis, what would then happen to it being accepted as part of the record. Those challenges are as follows. The 212 or 213 statement that the state says it received, and it is through that statement that it wants to introduce this video. It's a statement by Mr. Bailey. He says that he has no personal knowledge. I actually read what he said, and I quote, it said, I have no personal knowledge relating to the presence of Mr. Twala at the home of Miss Kumalo on the 27th of October 2014, as I was not present at their residence. In fact, at the time I was not working in South Africa. I was in fact working in China.
To
repeat,
they are pulling him by hook or crook. But he is asinandaba zapha. That's all we want. We want you here. You know, we don't care whether you were outside the country. We don't care whether you're not an author of this video. We don't care. But he's zapha. Asizomfuna omnye. Sifuna wena kaloku. You know, Lindiwe Pembe, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindiwe.
God bless you.
He said, I have no personal knowledge regarding the events, people, or places depicted in the footage that is requested. So how does Mr. Bailey assist the court here? Because he simply addresses the question that we are taking up as an issue with the state. Number one, how are you going to know when that video was taken? Who will come and say that the video was taken on the 27th? Vele, why are we certain that the video was taken on the 27th?
I don't know.
Why did we come to that conclusion? What were the circumstances? Why was the video actually taken? Those are the things that the state is hiding from the court. And recall that this video has been used over and over again as stock footage by ENCA. right? But more importantly, the state said that the prerogative value of this video, which is hearsay, lies on Mr. Bailey. And Mr. Bailey says, no, it can't lie on me because I was not present on that residence. I was working in China. I have no knowledge regarding the events, the people depicted in the footage. How can then it be argued that the value of this video that Mr. Bailey distances himself from can lie on Mr. Bailey? It is even worse with Brigadier Gininda. He will be called to give an opinion, which was exactly that in his re-examination. It was an opinion.
He's very opinionated. Why not use him?
On something which the court will not even know. Where does this video come from? For instance, he said we don't even know where was this video taken. Whether it was taken at a hostel or a tavern. We have seen the video. It's a 34-second clip. This is what should concern the court very attentively. Mr. LONGWE is one of the state witnesses that is mentioned in the indictment in the list of state witnesses in terms of Section 144 of the Criminal Procedure Act. The state, by simply including him in their list, or the state, by simply including him in their list of witnesses, gave out an impression that if circumstances were to arise that Mr. LONGWE should come and testify, they definitely call him. Therefore, you as a defense, stay away from him because as of now, he's our witness. Now the question that should trouble the court, very gravely so, is mentioning that LONGWE in the state witnesses, that he's the person on whose privative value on what is happening on that video lies. It is only LONGWE who can come and tell the court, actually. The state does not even have to play that video, which is true, right?
Yeah, it is true.
LONGWE can come and say, no such thing happened to me. I was never shot, right? I never had a bullet in my ankle.
I got to have seen good day. Next thing, the doctor needs to examine that leg.
It simply has to say to LONGWE, Mr. Mgomezulu made these allegations to you when this incident happened on the 26th of October 2014. You also got injured on your feet. Those are the allegations that Mr. Mgomezulu put to one of the witnesses. Do you agree or not? Then he'd come and tell this court he never got injured there. I don't know where Mr. Mgomezulu got that version from. That is obviously what LONGWE would say. But that's the best evidence rule. Why is the state avoiding to call LONGWE Twala? Why is the state afraid? I have tried to come up with speculation and answers to which ingenuity may suggest. I can only think, and I'll be forgiven for thinking that the state is afraid that if Mr. LONGWE comes here, he will say, no, I never got injured on that day. In fact, the firearm that was used was not a 9mm. It was a revolver. And then the judge interjected very quick and fast.
We have heard evidence of people who have passed away.
Omakeleni so.
And the judge was like, you made that bet, lie on it. What is wrong?
In fact, it's very
insinuating
attentive when a testimony of witnesses that are not in court, have never showed up in court, is being deliberated by Brigadier Gininda in the state. He's very attentive.
I guess Pinda City welcomes Israel. I hear what you've said you've been going through. Welcome back, my brother. We have missed you.
Welcome back, Sizwe.
We hope that everything is fine. Saying we was in a place where there is no network.
My God.
Now he's back to Joburg.
Okay, everybody, welcome back, Sizwe.
Welcome back. We have missed you.
You were missed. You were highly missed. It got a bit lonely.
Yeah. You and Ned, by the way, you disappeared at the same time. I must say that.
And Ned.
Yeah. So, welcome back, guys.
Welcome back, you guys. Then Mnisi said that it was just a speculation what he was saying, but the gist of the evidence is, why is the state avoiding to call LONGWE? The state is not saying that Longwe is no longer available. The state is not saying that Longwe is untraceable. He's still there. That is the person of interest whose credibility and the probative value of what is depicted in the video lies. He said he would strongly object on the strongest terms that the video should be played here and for Brigadier Ginida to come and opine or opinionate on that video. What will he be saying that the court has just indicated that it does not want to listen to speculation? All that Brigadier Ginida is going to be saying will be speculation, which is a fact. It's a fact. He doesn't have the means to prove whether that footage or Longwe's foot was not heard or did not heard. That's not an aspect that he even investigated in his investigation. He only acted upon it after it was brought up by Mkomezulu in court. So the interpreter at this point wanted to interpret, but then the judge told him that he will summarize at a later stage. And this kind of bothered me because the accused had intimated earlier that they would like to hear when these arguments or such arguments are happening, especially concerning their legal representatives, you know.
He was itching to give the verdict.
Ramasipili presented his argument with two submissions. The first one relating to the applicability of Section 3, Subsection 3 of the Hearsay Evidence Act that does not find applicability. And he said that he was saying this with the greatest respect to Advocate BALOYI, of course. But Ramasipili said that from the Baleka cases, that video evidence is real evidence and generally it is not considered hearsay. Hearsay only arises if in the video the person depicted are making statements and those person are not available to come and confirm the statements that they made in the video. Otherwise, it is a real evidence. There's no hearsay act applicable here. He said, let me tell the court why. Mr. Mnisi has introduced by way of submission what we have seen in that video. That video is a 34-second video. It does not show any person and it is not audible as what the utterances that are being made. You know, for that reason, the hearsay does not assist the state to bring Longwe's evidence via the back door, via Mr. Bailey, who in fact says that he obtained, or what he obtained was not the video of the 27th of October 2014. In fact, it was a rebroadcast of the 10th of October 2024. And it contains the subject matter of the subpoena that was sent by the state. He does not say it contains his footage. He says the subject matter. And he said, I don't know what the subject matter is. The state will clarify that for the court. And he said that he was not privy also to the subpoena that was sent. It was never disclosed to them. They didn't get the subpoena or what exactly the state was asking for to ENCA. It's only known to them. And he said, I don't think we belong or we should see what it was in that subpoena, my lord. With the video footage, he said that it needed to be authenticated. It represents accurately what it purports to be depicting. If only it shows its action and not words nor oral utterances. He said that he still stands that without utterances, the Hearsay Act does not apply. So the second aspect is the one Mr. Mnisi touched on. Mr. Longwe is alive. If he goes back to 2023, before Mr. Host testified, Ramasipili said that they received an email from Advocate BALOYI that they must prepare. They were going to testify, or Longwe Twala was going to testify, Jack Buthelezi and Mr. Host. Then later, it was only Mr. Buthelezi and Host. Remember us doing a story that was reported that Longwe said he was ready to testify. In fact, he had been subpoenaed while the journalist was there. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't and you were not there, you scroll Mtagamba on the live tab, just scroll and find that video. There was sentiments coming from Longwe himself via an article saying that he had been subpoenaed to come and testify. So I guess that journalist did not lie.
Yes.
Ramasipili said that he understood and he'd been practicing law for a very long time, that the state is dominus litis. To withdraw LONGWE as a witness is their own prerogative. But the point he's making is that he's still alive and kicking. And by what they have read in the media, he's sobering up from whatever is afflicting him. So he is sobering up. So he is a compatible witness that can come and testify on this. Whether or not he was shot and injured on the 26th of October, Ramasipili mentioned that a witness like Gininda is not going to assist the court to know that the person depicted on that video is LONGWE Twala. They're going to listen to the say-so of Mr. Gininda, that this is what Mr. LONGWE Twala said. And he quoted Canadian law, and he said that it is being held to be a super unnecessary evidence. Advocate BALOYI is inviting this court to listen to the most superfluous evidence that will come from Brigadier Gininda. Brigadier Gininda is not going to assist the court with that respect. Ramasipili submitted vehemently that this video should not be played in court until it's authenticated by the relevant people under oath, not by the Hearsay Act that is not applicable through the superfluous evidence of a lane opinion of Mr. Gininda. Ngumalo also argued, and he brought up interesting points in my opinion. He argued that the fact that they can say Dr. Ali is their witness that has gone past because of the prepositions that were put by Advocate Nisi to Surgeon Mabasa during cross-examination. So the witness cannot say now that the witness can be called by them. He said that it's totally unacceptable. It can be called by the state. My apologies. They don't have the statement of the person who took that video. They don't know why a person is called to come and testify. No chain of evidence where the video was stored, who the video was taken by. Ngumalo said that we seem to be going around in circles, which is a fact, in my opinion. Ngumalo argued that regarding the assertions that Mngomezulu made on the 28th of August 2024, my apologies, he made the assertions almost over a year ago. Why did the state not follow up then? Ngumalo said we seem to not be making any progress. And BALOYI counter-argued relevance, which I feel like the defense did not even focus on relevance.
They did talk about relevance through Ramasipili.
Oh, through Ramasipili.
Yes, he said this is not relevant.
Did speak of relevance.
At length, in fact. To say, because when I read here, it did not say relevance outweighs the other reasons.
What did you say? Can you please read that for us again?
It just brings them all together. And that's the reason why okay, so let me see if I can get it. So there are like two legal requirements that BALOYI was, three actual legal requirements that BALOYI was arguing on. The first one is on the necessity. So in this case, which apparently this person will come, there's relevance, and then the proper chain of custody, which they all kicked on those points, but BALOYI chooses relevance only.
And he still won the argument according to the judge
on the basis that so the judge feels that this is relevant.
Well, he said that proving the contents of the video becomes documentary evidence. You can prove
in fact, the judge doesn't feel that this is relevance. They said he can never bring any evidence that is not relevant. No one can, according to the judge, there is no way someone
that the
can
state
bring
bring irrelevant evidence.
Yes.
Okay. In summary.
Such blanket approach. Then why do we have relevance and not relevance the issue in court? In fact, why do we have acts that are dealing and laws that are dealing with such?
And because he chooses to ignore this irrelevance when it's coming from the state, can we also put the blame on him when it comes to this case dragging? It's a question I'm asking. I'm not saying
because
that
he
we
keeps
should.
on allowing things. Basically, there's nothing wrong that the states can bring to that court. So therefore, they can bring
anything.
a truck driver who would say, I came across Zungu going to KZN, it's fine, it's relevant. They can bring anyone. They can bring some commander of South African soldiers. It's relevant because according to him, they can never bring or waste the court time, those people, and bring things that are not relevant. Let's press that like button, guys.
And another thing I'm noticing is that things that should be addressed in argument by the state is presenting them as evidence. And I'm kind of like perplexed. So for those who've been wondering, why is this case taking so long? These are such matters that are contributing quite a lot, and the media will not talk about them, right?
They will tell you about millions and millions
Yes.
and millions and millions.
They will
and
only
millions.
talk when they feel the defense is asking for time to prepare a case for accused number one, like what was happening with Advocate Mnisi, right? That's the only time they will blame or put a blame to the defense. But when stuff like this happen that actually drag the case, presenting of evidence that really doesn't really do much, right? But then they entertain it because it's the state presenting it, right? It must be presented, even if stuff that can honestly be addressed in argument at a later stage to counter-argue what the defense had put up. They present it as if it's something they've been investigating for the last 5 years. Right. So that's also something that we should really think about. So he made an example of apartheid to Advocate BALOYI, the illegal gatherings being recorded by the police. And the
I
police,
guess it touched the soul of our judge.
And then the police would come to court and say, yeah, this activist was a day at the gathering, right? Yeah, I can't believe he used this type of example.
They can speak Afrikaans, both of them, apparently.
I can't believe that after what we've been exposed to in the past couple of weeks, Advocate BALOYI is so inappropriate to use such an example. He couldn't think of anything else, no. He said that he's arguing the authenticity and reliability of the footage. BALOYI said that Mr. Bailey is the news editor under whose custody the material is archived. So on the point of direct evidence and circumstantial evidence, BALOYI said that there is nothing that bars Brigadier Gininda from identifying a person on a video as to who that person is. He compared it with the photo evidence when Gininda told them what he saw in the photos. As to why the state doesn't want to call LONGWE, BALOYI said that the state does not have to call every witness whose name appears on the list. If at that conclusion of the state's case the witness is not called, then it's up to the defense to call that witness. He admitted the footage is irrelevant. Well, then the judge said that the court can still decide if it's in the interest of justice. And BALOYI said that the court can decide to submit such evidence. And the judge then said the defense can argue that the defense is prejudicial and not in the interest of justice, which are arguments that honestly the state didn't talk about. Not the state, the defense didn't talk about the interest of justice and whatnot. But then the judge brought it up. Already, it was a sense of where we are going, right?
When you start defending, you can almost tell.
You can tell, right? His mind is already made up. So BALOYI said that they can do that at the end of the case. And then the judge asked Mnisi for the status of Dr. Ali's report. And Mnisi said that they have to conduct if they are disputing the content of the report. And by the way, it's not mentioned whether the state is opposing or accepting Dr. Ali's report. They haven't said that, but they want to call him as a witness. For what, we don't know. Mnisi said that they have to conduct if they are disputing the contents of the report. Then they'll call Dr. Ali. The judge now wanted Dr. Ali to be called before handing up his report. He wanted Dr. Ali to make an affidavit to accompany the report. Mnisi said that the document contained issues of Mr. Mncube that were honestly talked about, right? But then the judge looked like he wanted Dr. Ali to come or to present an affidavit. So the judge said that the document is not properly handed up. Now he went to Ramosipili saying that the Evidence Act doesn't allow that and wanted him to read it.
So let us deal with that part. You see why I say BALOYI got both of the things that he wanted. The judge, the tantrums that you see there is after they refused for the state to actually accept this doctor as their. So what now is doing is to put pressure on them, saying that there is no other way they can put this on record. I mean, it is on record in any case. There's no other way you can accept this unless someone comes and say, I am so and so, which is the right way of obviously handing over or submitting the any document. It must be accompanied by, but that could have been said even yesterday. But now they saw that there is no affidavit that is accompanying this document. So let us give you a time to call this doctor under the disguise that you are calling this doctor to actually come here and authenticate this paper. You know, that's basically what the judge is doing here. And it can be a coincidence that BALOYI talks about it and says, leave it. You know, and then the judge and
this
now
document is not handed up.
Why didn't he say it yesterday when it was handed up? I heard Mnisi clearly saying that. In fact, he stood up after sitting down and saying, my lord, why didn't he talked about this document not being handed over properly at that time? You know, why didn't he talk about it at that time? He's talking about it now because what he does, he sees that the manner in which this situation of the report is sitting at, it is sitting on the fence. Yes, it is supporting the defense, but it is sitting on the fence.
Yes.
On the virtue of BALOYI saying that this is our person, in a sense that person is going to come and testify, trying to sway everything to their direction. That's what basically they want to see happening. More so if it's called to come and testify under the state. Obviously, you're going to try to. Now, he is putting pressure because they want that doctor to come. For one reason or another, they seem to think they have an upper hand on that doctor, which I would agree with their thinking 100%, judging on the basis of how this report was written. Very clumsy for a specialist, a doctor of that note. Very clumsy, leaving spaces for doubts. I would actually not be surprised if the doctor comes and say, by the way, it could have been that there was a gold tooth, but here's the way out for Bomnis. They must go do that second opinion. Why I'm saying that? To balance the forces. By all means, they must protect that doctor that they are going to. If they need to hire an investigator to sit at the gate of where he works and sit at the gate of where he sleeps until they go do the checking and then honestly speaking, it is very difficult to deal with this case. There are people ukuthupelepele unikeza uhlanya ngisho neti elibabu pelepele. It's something that is supposed to have sugar in opelepele. So power is, in my opinion, at the wrong hands. So you need to protect what you can protect. Because it is difficult now to say what that doctor is going to come and say. And I can tell, you see, because he missed that chance of submitting that affidavit through that witness who was talking about the teeth. He missed that chance. So they waited for him to miss it. And then now they want a way to bring that. There's only one way. I'm telling you, there's only one way. One door. The door of bringing that affidavit without is to bring that doctor to come and say, yeah, and then BALOYI gets a chance.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And then when BALOYI gets a chance, we don't know who talks to who. This is South Africa.
Yes.
Anyone, anything, anyhow, it is possible.
Being implied that state is one thing.
So I saw it and I was worried. It's like, hey, you missed a chance. He missed that chance of an affidavit. He was just focusing on a report, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances also. That he probably wanted a private doctor.
He wanted a way forward because
then you ended up succumbing to this.
Yeah.
So
what you end up what ends up happening is that you become embroiled, going around in circles, is what Advocate Ngumalo was saying. So he wanted to confirm, was there gold teeth or not, before he now starts, entertaining things that may lead to more confusion and more derail.
So now BALOYI emphasizing in his submissions that were never submissions in any case because he withdrew them, saying that they will ask the court to call this witness if he's not called. That
and
is
the judge said
one way or another,
the court can
putting
call.
pressure to Mnisi to call this doctor. And I can tell you, judging from how Mnisi sounded and how when he put the question of this report sounded, he was not intending to call this doctor.
No, and he even mentions that after we are done with the defense case, this evidence might even not be as much of a hype as it is now.
Now, it will be in his client's interest to call him.
Okay.
Because he will have a chance to lead, and allow BALOYI to cross-examine and then re-examine to close the loopholes.
Right.
Because there are few questions that needs to be asked to this doctor. Dokotela, at your profession, how long have you been working as a doctor? At your level of profession, are you saying that if someone had a gold tooth in 2012, is it not clear to you as a doctor that that person had a gold tooth or not? I'm asking this question because it seems as if your statement left a chance for the state to come and rebuke this thing and rebut it and say, currently that you use, doctor. What did you mean?
Currently no gold or inlay.
Are you saying that there is no gold now? There was a gold before.
And if you are saying currently
And
no gold
you
inlay,
ask-
is there any other type of inlay?
You asked that question after looking for second opinion.
Yes. That second opinion will help you analyze.
It will
that
help
report.
you. No, forget about analyzing.
Okay.
It will help the doctor to be in line.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
He's
Yes.
gonna say the right things.
Yes.
Yes. So get that opinion and keep it to you. Before you start examining, remind him that you have actually taken his advice and looked for a second opinion. So then start asking your questions. You'll hear better answers.
Okay. So the judge did grant the state's application.
So they got two.
So the re-examination of Brigadier Gininda continued, and BALOYI started with the photo. So that's what he said he'll be starting with. He said that he'll be calling the person who took the photos. He referred to the place as the excluded obscure place on the day of the pointing out, when accused number 1 was taken to the same place where he said he was assaulted on the 30th of May 2020. So he said that after being booked out of Valeria police station, he was taken to the same spot where he was assaulted on the 30th of May before the pointing outs were made on the 5th of June 2020. So BALOYI handed up aerial photographs. As Mnisi pointed out, the court had ordered the inspection in loco. That I know we are probably not gonna get after this because the judge,
he suggested pictures.
The judge denied ordering the inspection in loco. He said, I didn't do that. Okay. And he said that his client said he does not see what is happening in those photos. The rest of the defense had no submission.
But he said they were this guy. So is
What, Mr. Naim?
So now he's denying it.
Denying what?
That he said there must be inspection in loco. He even asked for the day. When is it gonna be done?
He asked for the date and for arrangements to be made. Now he's denying that he ever made such approvals.
Ngiyamuzwa.
Ujikile ke ngoku manje usibukisana neithombe esinga
Ngiyamuzwa ke ngoku.
It is even worse for us because we don't see what those pictures. Well, the judge said that the photos.
They are always there with their friends there by the court.
Yeah,
at least they are able to have visuals.
Well, the judge said that the photos were not for the application of the inspection in loco. It is the aerial viewing of the area. He said it's not a substitution. So the photographer is apparently a warrant officer, Munakedi, from the National Crime Scene in Pretoria. The state started with footage of ENCA, and he said that he met LONGWE throughout the investigation. And the last time he met him was at the DPP's office, Brigadier Kininda. He was consulting with the state in Pretoria, LONGWE, and Mnisi, he brought up Mnisi, saying that the handing in of the footage, okay, it was Mnisi in this part. He was objecting. I don't know whether to call it an objection. He was saying or asking if that handing up of the footage, was it provisionally being handed in? Because in law, they don't have anything like hearsay evidence that the state referred to, that they don't have anything called with subject to, because the way Advocate BALOYI was handing it up, it was like he was saying with subject to hearsay evidence. It was just unusual because usually he would say provisionally accepted. So the judge said that it will be handed up by Bailey, so meaning that they are going to, by hook and crook, get Mr. Bailey to come to court and testify. And BALOYI eventually used the word provisional at the end after the judge, said that Mr. Bailey will be the one handing it up. So literally, in summary, we can say the judge is subpoenaing Mr. Bailey. So on the video, LONGWE is identified. That's what Brigadier Kininda was saying, as a gentleman wearing a cap with Zandi Kumalo. And there in the picture is a BMW X6. He said, of course, it seemed like LONGWE was walking fine on the video footage, despite being told that he was limping. Who said he was limping? Who said he was limping? And then he said he doesn't think someone who sustained an injury on an ankle would walk like that. He said that although there is no date, but it's what the state requested from ENCA. The date, according to him, is the 27th of October 2014. Based on that, he came to the conclusion that the state said that it was this date, because in the subpoena that Brigadier Kininda saw, he's saying that the state, when they subpoenaed ENCA, they were saying that the footage is from the 27th of October 2014. While ENCA is saying that's stock footage that they used in 2024. So he said in Longwe is moving fast in the footage, and Gininda said it doesn't relate with Mgomezulu's preposition. The court allowed him to enter the terrain of speculation, in my opinion, and here we go. So he said it doesn't correlate. Regarding the witnesses that Mr. Mgomezulu said he will call, all the people that were in the house deposed a statement, and none of them said Longwe Twala shot himself while he was struggling with the deceased. He said it includes Longwe Twala's statement that speaks of intruders, not the one where he said he shot himself. He said that the Ngaches also said that they did not see this commotion.
They did not see the commotion. That's a lie. Ngashes Lokuzana was saying they saw a commotion, even saw the white t-shirt. And then when he peeped through the window.
Because he passed on, his statement was not handed up. So since they took the statements, Zabo Makaleni and everyone else who is no more, then maybe it's only fair, since he's making such bold statements, that Ubabu Ngache's statement should also be handed up. But I know the judge will not allow it. So he said he's struggling to find who this witness might be. And he said that he's struggling to find...
What do you want to do with the witness?
Asaz. I don't know. But he really wants the witness. And he said that even Makaleni...
You look for him like you looked for a doctor.
Makaleni, he mentioned as not seeing such. Makaleni is deceased, you guys. So he said that blood samples that were found at the scene was that of the deceased. Longwe's blood was not linked. We're going to ignore that allegations of Mapiri cleaning.
That's what I wanted to go to. Because there was cleaning happening there. Right?
So he didn't even investigate that part. He just left it alone. He said that logic dictates that if Longwe was shot in the ankle, some blood would have been found on the ground. He said that they have presented the evidence, although he said he didn't want to repeat the evidence, but the evidence presented is that Longwe drove a red BMW Polo to the hospital, not BMW, VW, my apologies, red VW Polo to the hospital. Now, how are they concluding that Longwe was driving?
I don't know.
Without Longwe coming to court and saying I was driving.
Without him saying that I was alone.
I was alone.
Because the people in the house, they are talking about what happened in the house, apparently.
Yes.
They are not clear when they were asked about who else was there in the car. It is not clear. But it seems as if lead investigator, has concluded that there was no one.
He was driving VW red Polo. The difficulty, he says, he had is how can a person drive a vehicle using their feet. He insisted that the vehicle was driven by Longwe. And he said that no one in the hospital said they saw Longwe limping or that a doctor attended to him. He said that even if Longwe did not seek the help, he doesn't think that nurses who are trained and mandated to attend to such would see somebody with injuries because there would have been blood. So this is all speculation.
President wamanesi, president wamaphoyisa, wamalawyer. He speaks for them. Shame, yakhuluma nangumuntu.
He said they would just leave him and he doesn't get attended to. He said that there were no such assertions. Even when he went back later after the assertions were made in court, he went back to that hospital to try and get the records as to whether Mr. Longwe Twala was treated in that hospital. Why did you not go to Mr. Longwe Twala and ask him whether he was treated in that hospital?
You saw him in case you came across him.
Why?
So the only person is saying, I talked to Longwe Twala myself. He's not saying that. But you came across him. He's able to recognize him on the video because he came across him. He was with him at the offices there.
said that he gave the
You
statement.
went around looking for what you
all
could
of
get
this work
from the
when the
horse's
person
mouth.
is still alive and you can still find them. You just choose not
Guys,
to.
let's press the like button.
Yes.
We have close to 700 people here, 388 likes. Guys, the morning gang yesterday did show you how they do it.
Yes.
Please press the like
Oh,
button.
the likes on that video. Oh my God, Morning Gang is the best, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yo, I was blown away. So he said that he gave the statements and they are in the docket. So then BALOYI asked him, do you remember if the tracker movement showed if he returned to the scene on the night of the incident? And Gininda said that he thinks he may have because the tracker report, if you follow the movement of the car.
He returned. That's a wrong question. Did the car return? That's the right question. If we are consistent with these things, these are things that are just showing a navigation or a sort of a direction for whatever that is car. That whatever that was tracking that car was not attached to Lokozan.
Long.
I mean, that's what they said about the phones when it suited them.
Yes.
And that's what they said. When it suited them, when accused number 3 was sleeping in Joburg using a phone, you could have left the phone. So now why is he testifying about the car as if it was long?
I don't know. And considering the fact that some phones were taken, Kelly's phone was taken.
And the judge was, in fact, on the arena in this one.
The runaway phone.
Yes. Defending there and there. Hey. Consistency. When they call people clowns, people catch feelings. It's because of such. You set a precedent, you do not follow to that. You leave it when it suits you. Then we call you clown. You are a clown, Mos, if you're like that.
Well, Gininda said he thinks he may have because the tracker report, if you follow the movement of the car, he said that the investigation revealed that he was driving that vehicle. It's in line with his cell phone going to the hospital and back and going to the side of Malbatin in Glen Vista where he slept and then came back on the 27th the following day. That
Do you
is the
remember
day
when Zandi said,
they were making
was it
statements.
Dinovo? Do you remember when Zandi said Longwe slept there?
Yes. He slept with them at Malbatin.
Hey, my daughter. Hey, sizothula phela ngoba hey, things happen in this case.
And then the AVL did not place the VW Polo at Malbatin. Did it?
It did, apparently.
It did? I don't remember.
I remember.
Even on the 27th, he was still driving the vehicle. And on this day, statements were taken from him and the police at the police station. He said there were no complaints from the police.
There is never any. You know, one question I would like to ask again: have you ever in your lifetime, as a person who's investigating or whatever that you were at the time, in your situation, had police telling you things such as this person was limping, telling you this person was beating, in your lifetime? And what did you do if you've had it? What did you do? That would be very interesting for me, just for interest's sake.
Well, he said that there were no reports from the police that said that he was limping and that they saw something unusual. And BALOYI then told him that in the extract, names of certain medical practitioners were mentioned. And he asked him if he followed up that preposition. And Gininda said that he did follow it up. Dr. Mbatsani passed away. And the close-by hospital, no records could be found. And the unfortunate part is that the doctor that passed away, he couldn't interview him. And BALOYI now moved on to the aerial photos. Gininda said that they were commissioned on the 19th of June 2025. This is like last week at 9:05. Warrant Officer Johan Hendrik Frederik Ras from the National Crime Scene Management in Pretoria is the commissioning officer. The photos were taken by Warrant Officer Monakedi, and BALOYI said that Mnisi put it to him that he met accused number 1 at a secluded spot in Vosloorus, and Mnisi objected and said that he never referred to it as an excluded spot. There was a back and forth there because he said he never said that, and BALOYI corrected it to Gold Spot in Vosloorus, that on the 5th of June 2020 was taken to the same spot before the pointings out were made. Mnisi said that that is another misnomer. He never said at the secluded area at a Gold Spot. BALOYI said Gininda should deal with that preposition in light of the aerial photos.
He was not sure what he used to put,
Didn't know.
but yet he had an answer for it.
And he killed me when he said Gininda must put the preposition.
Legalela.
Who's the prosecutor here? Who's prosecuting? Well, he said that the state must tell the witness what he specifically put to the witness and not misquote him. This is Mnisi now saying,
lead yourself.
yeah, Mnisi was saying that it's an objection that he's being misquoted, okay? And BALOYI said that the first proposition is that Brigadier Gininda said he met accused number 1 on the 30th of May 2020 at a parking area in front of a police station. And Advocate Mnisi said that he met him at a Gold Spot in a complex that consisted of traffic officers, department and municipal offices. But later on during the evidence, the preposition was then qualified to say it was a secluded spot or obscure place. BALOYI read his notes where he said that accused said Valeria or left. They left with him from Valeria police station at around 8:01. He was driven in a Qashqai Nissan with Warrant Officer Mokhani and Ngamani and Bongani, and they were accompanied by police officers to Vosloorus, where Brigadier Gininda found them with Sergeant Mukhola at the parking. They assaulted him to pressurize him to the pointing out to be done later on that day. Now, this is the same spot, he said, where he assaulted accused number 1 on the 30th of May, and he still called it an obscured place. His notes didn't mention the Gold Spot though. But then, he now added that the place with the traffic area and said that Brigadier Gininda explained it's on record and the record will speak for itself. Mnisi said that his only concern is that he does not want to be misquoted on what he put to the witness. He said that he's asking the state to put to their witness what he put to him. And BALOYI asked Gininda if he remembered what the preposition was. Gininda said that his version was to indicate that he met accused number 1 on the parking of Vosloorus police station. He said it's where he met him and that's where the interview took place. And on the day of the pointing out, it was up to him or out for accused number 1. They were taken to the same spot. The contention for the 30th was, according to accused number 1, he was taken directly to Deep Kloof police station. And he said that they didn't go to Eraton first, and then subsequently by Constable Monaring, then he was taken to Colonel Mboto. Okay. In my opinion, at this part, I felt like Advocate BALOYI was buying more time to look for the preposition that he didn't remember. And BALOYI referred Mnisi to the proceedings of the 3rd of June 2025. He found them. And Gininda said that for the 5th of June, when Mnisi said accused number 1 was taken to some municipality area, that is where around the place there's a golden spot, and apparently it's a complex that houses the police station, the municipality offices. There's also home affairs offices and traffic offices. They then went to a parking lot where they have to go out with a vehicle, you know. And Gininda said that he wanted to make it clear He said that it can't be because the police station is independent from this municipality building. He now addressed issues of the assault, and he said that they went in an open parking, and the photos clearly indicate that it's a wide open area. It was during the day. How would the police assault someone there without being seen? That is where the assertion of him saying police officers are not stupid, they would not assault someone in the open. It was a hidden spot where he took him, and that is what led to where Advocate Mnisi now asked for an inspection in local, right? It took a while, but yeah, we eventually got somewhere. Mnisi objected, saying that the state and the witness were misleading the court. Mnisi said he never mentioned a motor vehicle driving accused number 1 around, and where he was taken to. And the state had just read an extract of what he put to the witness. He was hoping that the state would correct what he called him being misquoted, but the state did not do that, and it's there on record. So BALOYI said that Gininda should comment on what was in the photos. There were 26 photos. Gininda led himself to these photographs. There were keys there. He was mentioning those keys. He said in photo number 1 is an overall view of the police station. You know, he continued leading himself. He said there's a court. And, and BALOYI asked him to point it out, and the judge asked him to number everything. He said that it goes somewhere else and it would not make sense as it did for the people that are in court.
So
That's
those
the
pictures
judge.
were taken by whoever took them, and the judge was happy to mark them and parade them in the very same court.
And alluding
Was
that
there an
should it go-
affidavit accompanying them?
No.
See what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just because the dealer said police so and so took them.
Different strokes for different folks. Yes, folks. Now, he said that opposite the police station, there's a hostel. He said that it's not the hostel that they talked about in court, the Basutung hostel. That one is further away. This one is Emazulwini hostel. And he was now testifying about the entry off ramp that led to the municipality area. He said you pass by a taxi rank. He was, leading himself. Mind you, when he's mentioning all of these are like aerial photos. And this one in particular he was referring to, it wasn't even zoomed in. And he said that there's one exit there, is no police station by the shops. He was repeating what he was saying as a defense under Mnisi's cross-examination, in my opinion. Okay, we were not privy to the images, so we don't know what he was talking about. This is where I just decided to relax and just listen to what he's saying, because I cannot confirm or deny. There's nothing. I have nothing.
I don't blues of it. No, I was out because I cannot see nothing.
We cannot see anything. We cannot analyze anything. At this point, I just feel like he can do whatever he wants, man. The judge is allowing it. So tina. So according
pass them around. Once I show njalo, yazi ukuthi ke i-judgment yakhe impela iyaqina. Iyaqina i-judgment yakhe.
So according to the reports, Gininda was explaining the aerial shot of Vosloorus police station and the gold spot. This is, what he was doing. And he showed them the marking where he said he met accused number 1. It was a parking lot right opposite the pedestrian entrance of the Vosloorus police station, which is attached to the wall.
Is when accused number 1 clearly says, I cannot see anything.
What the heck is going on here?
And someone else has an advantage. He's marking there. See,
he's
there.
Even a professor.
This is where I met.
He's professing
the
there with the pointers and pointing. He's lecturing.
Prejudice is when someone else has an advantage and the other one
doesn't. They can just sit there and watch in disbelief. So also Gininda showed the municipality buildings and demonstrated that the building is not attached to the police station. He also indicated the distance between the buildings, assessing that there are two separate buildings. And the judge even wanted Ramasipili to confirm some markings there. And I was like, hey, woman, Ramasipili wabantu. These markings were very important to the judge. So yeah, Brigadier Gininda went on and on, you know. And he also responded to social media because he made it seem like the assertion that it was COVID during that time. So if he's speaking of a taxi rank, there's no way big pitizela the way he's trying to frame it. It came from social media, but he made it seem like it came from one of the defense counsel.
It did come out through the defense counsel.
Which one?
Nisi said there was COVID, remember?
Oh, there was COVID. Okay, my apologies. I forgot. So the state then moved to the ID kit of Bongani Ntanzi. It was placed side by side pictures that were found in his memory card. And it's the photos Warrant Officer Ndlovu testified about. Now it was time for deliberation on the type of beard that Ntanzi grew. And Ramasipili said that he has always kept a goatee for as long as he can remember. Gininda said that the second suspect was drafted by Makaleni. Suspect B, the one with the hoodie and the dreadlocks. Makaleni is the one who is... And the judge wanted to know if it's Makaleni's statement. And this is the part where Brigadier Gininda said that, no, some of the people in the house also mentioned to Steenkamp some of the features. And I'm like, actually, but the people that have testified from the house so far, none of them.
Look, we have Steenkamp, right?
Yeah.
Still alive.
She's still alive. I think she retired, but she's still alive.
Same problem. Gininda has been a stylist. He moved out of being a stylist, video interpreter. Angazi ukuthi yina ngabanga yona. Like a body language reader, a lawyer, speaking on behalf of police. He has spoken on behalf of nurses and doctors.
Hey.
I call.
Analysts even.
Yabona ngili judge.
Kima khona tsohle.
Hayi ngili judge.
Kima ebila ha khoni. Arere kima bua ka tsohle. Everything he has comments on everything, every profession.
Hayi. Yabona ngili judge na mai. For the mere fact that this person has answers for everything.
Yes.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag. But he's entertaining it. In fact, he's enjoying it.
Hey, anginandaba mina noma ungastudishanga kana 100% this is an investigation of years. Can get 100%. Hi.
Well, Ramasipili now entered the scene because Gininda said that Ramasipili said that accused number 2 never had an O-shaped beard. Ramasipili objected and said that it's irrelevant evidence. Ndlovu was taken through the same exercise and he just let it pass. But Brigadier Gininda cannot comment on what was put to Constable Zungu and whoever said that accused number 2
he's a
had
DNA
an O-type
analyst.
beard. He's a DNA analyst as well. Ramasipili said that he was talking about the beard between the lower lip and the chin. That's what I remember actually. Ramasipili never said that accused number 2 has never had an O-type beard. He said he's kept this O-type beard with the goatee for as long as he can remember. But he's never grew hair here. Right? That's what I remember. But now it has changed into this whooshy-mushy, smushy, confusion thing about the beard. So he said that it's relevant. There's nothing wrong with this witness testifying on his own observations. Ramasipili said that in law, context is very important. Danzi said to Gininda that this is a case of mistaken identity. Remember the consultation or the confrontation that Danzi was having with Brigadier Gininda as he was interrogating him outside somewhere. I even forgot where it was. And then Danzi said he told him that you have mistaken me. This is mistaken identity. When he showed him the identity kit of suspect B, this is not me. And then now we hear that Makaleni is the one who was there assisting warrant officer Steenkamp to draft suspect B. He said it's irrelevant. BALOYI said that they had not led the witness on the evidence of the 18th of June. The judge now stood for Gininda that he should not be given context of facial features. It's an observation that he's making. The defense can argue that there's no resemblance. It's fine at a later stage. Gininda said that he saw the similarities. It's a strong resemblance to accused number 2. And the judge wanted to know when the identity kits were actually done. Gininda said that it was on the 29th of October 2014. That's the third day after the incident took place. Well, court adjourned. And that's it from me.
Kushuti inkosi yenkantolo is accepting ukuthi ziyafana nabo lezi.
Yeah.
When were they done? Oh, they were done very
3
close
days.
on the day.
Even though the person who did them
Has
has
not
so
been
much
caught.
to say, because in the documentary she had a lot to say, a lot to unpack.
A lot.
And they haven't called her to come and testify in
Because
court.
of that
This is the
documentary. If you
state, by
ask
the
me.
way, that says they want justice for Senzo, Meyiwa, and the Meyiwa family. That's what they want us to believe. But Warrant Officer Steenkamp has not been called to come and testify.
No. They're
The
talking
rest-
about her work.
They're talking about her work.
Hey, but if you watch a
Without her being
documentary,
there.
how he speaks of the body language
Of some other peoples
of other people, and other people were not willing
to assist her.
Guys, press the like button. Please. Press that like button like you mean it.
And then you find that Makeleni is responsible for the sketch of suspect B. While Zandi testified that she didn't even testify. Warrant Officer Steenkamp's statement says Zandi could not identify the second suspect.
Yeah, guys.
The
for
one
today,
they pointed in court.
For today, I don't think you guys are gonna call. But just thanking you in advance, and yeah, vele nami ngikhathele.
Nice Katele.
Iyakhathazana le evidence bafethu. Ahlangane tomorrow. Let us meet tomorrow again. Today, actually.
Yeah.
Because I have to rush and go sleep and then come back.
Now I need to be fresh.
Ngumoya okhulumayo la. Family mina nginenkinga nesketch leso kuthiwa zadraw nguSteenkamp. Ngicabanga ukuthi uAmanda mhlawumbe nguyongabe uyafika silamule la. Ngoba bonke abantu abasendlini ba describe bathi intruder number 1 abakwazanga ku describe intruder number 2. Then intruder number lo okuthiwa esketchini lesiya okuthiwa number 2 ngumuntu wa describewa ngulo Makeleni osowashonayo othi yena wa describe umuntu owayemi egedini phandle nothi owayesendlini. Lapha ngicabanga ukuthi mina icourt is being misled lapha yana uAmanda kabuye ezochaza lapha ya ngoba bona sebethatha ngani sketch lesiyana sithi ukuthi ngumuntu owaye accused number 2 endlini intruder number 2 endlini kube kuyikuthi umuntu owa describe lo ya muntu naye akangenanga endlini wayephandle ethi ukuthi umuntu lo wambona ephandle egedini eboxini likagetsi. So ngicabanga ukuthi kune yona lento abayenzayo nje ukuthi bathatha into zika 2017 bazenze kube ngani ngezika 2014. Ngicabanga ukuthi esithombeni lesiyana uAmanda Steenkamp ngaba lo msebenzi omuhle kakhulu ukuthi achaze ukuthi owa describe le drawing yesibili bona sebesithi nguntanzi wayekhuluma ngomuntu owayenjani ekuphi sikwazi ukudlula lapho family.
Thank you. Think you summarized it properly. Thank you. You were focused. Yeah, just to thank everyone. Chuku, thank you. Pinkinziba, thank you. Mpo Musi, thank you. Sizwe 18, thank you. It's been a while since I called your name. I had to. Pedro, thank you. Sfiso Sindani, thank you. Songelo and Love, thank you. Siyabonga. Siyabulela Mzizi, thank you very much. Boitumele MC Master, thank you. Let's see. Lola, thank you. Tobeka D, our moderator, thank you. And welcome to new members, guys. Positive Vibes T, thank you, member. Dokas Shabala, thank you, member. Outlast Tours, thank you. Mavui, member, thank you. Mzwake Radebe, thank you. Emmanuel Makanjera, all the way from Zim. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Lindiwe, thank you very much. Lindiwe Bembe, our member, thank you very much. Vusutando Makobane, thank you very much. Doga Shabala, I've mentioned you. Zuko M, thank you. Lazo Lapoyo, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Tabang Selepi, thank you very much. Siyabonga. Makanda SK, thank you very much. Gabside Kulu, Papasha, thank you. Muzwakela Radeb, I've mentioned you. Try more, Moyo, thank you very much. I think this is your voice notes that was hearing here. Ambrose Mbata, thank you very much. Siyabonga. Cool, bafethu. Farai, thank you very much. Siyabonga. Cool. Zanda Julikanda, Siyabonga. Cool of you to please press that like button. I know it's difficult. Nanjelop, press the like button. Thank you. Night Nanjelop. Busani Sibanda, true analyst, last caller. Thank you. Yes, it was on point.
Yes.
Short and sweet. We have pressed the like button like crazy. Thank you. We appreciate Makanjera. Tembelani Kanye, bye Tembelani Hle. Thank you, Mr. Ano and Sis Emily. Your great work. Thank you, Siyabonga.
Thank you.
Siyabonga, cool. Before you, Izobonana, Abanya, I'm sure they are still catching up. I can tell by the likes, Abanya Bakoshi.
Please like the video, guys. Your like is highly appreciated.
Linde ni hade. Bye-bye. Press the like button. Going out, join the membership. Like the video, comment on the video, rewatch it if you can. We appreciate it. That's a contribution. However you want to contribute, it's up to you. Ria, love you guys. Siyabonga Ria. Bonga cool. Mlambo Design, correct me if I'm wrong, but Makeleni didn't describe an intruder, but rather the person he saw outside, and there were people sitting outside who were not intruders, the guests. Yeah, you've got that correct. Indeed, you have a proper argument. Siyabonga. Thank you guys. Thank you.